Guys, my name is Alissa. I am an associate here with ASEA in Australia. I'm also a health practitioner and I specialize in pediatrics. And it's my utter pleasure that you guys are spending your time here with us today because you're going to learn about an amazing health technology called Redox signaling molecules. So stay tuned, please listen, we've got some amazing speakers. And today we are very lucky to have none other than the Stevie from now Queensland. I've got to keep remembering you've moved. He is an amazing global leader. His passion here is to get this knowledge out to as many people as possible. He teaches, he leads with his own life, he models it to the T. He also challenges us and inspires us to keep sharing this, and we learn so much from Stevie every day. Stevie's presentation, I think, is one of the best I've ever heard. You'll find it really simple, really easy to follow, and will really give you a passion for why we are so passionate about redox signaling molecules. So Stevie, thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us this amazing health technology and how it's going to help change our lives.
Absolutely. Very, very happy to be here. Thank you, Alissa. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And I caught the word model. I think you called me a model in there.
You live by it.
Yeah.
You model it very well too, Stevie.
You should have seen me before this stuff, though, that we're going to talk about today. Look, I know your heart beats for the mission of this company, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And that's not just words for you. That is a philosophy that you live, talk and walk by. So I appreciate that, which is why I appreciate working with you so much. And also you're just a great gal. I love calling you a friend and also a health professional too, and a successful one in regards to not only owning multiple clinics, including a grand one that hopefully is coming along very well about now.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I know through your expertise and then enhancing that even further with this technology, I know that you have some amazing stories of how you are significantly at a very deep level enhancing people's lives in a very good way. So maybe we'll hear about that a little bit later, fingers crossed.
Sure, happy to share. Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you. Everybody, thank you very much for being here, choosing to be here. If you're here in Australia, it's a Saturday. And if you're in America, it's a Friday night. And you could be doing a lot of other things with your time, but you've decided to spend it here. And I'm very grateful for that. Time is more valuable than money. Because if you paid money to be here and you didn't like anything that I had to say, I would give you your money back without question. But I can't give you your time back. It's non-refundable. So thank you very much for choosing to spend such a significant value with me. And I don't intend to waste your time. And so I hope you won't ask for a refund. So let's jump into this, shall we? Let's jump into this right now. All right. So in case you didn't catch it, in case you couldn't tell by my Crocodile Dundee accent, my family and I, we live in Australia. Originally, we are from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast, as Alissa said, which was a dream come true when we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We absolutely love it. I'm blessed and grateful for my life. I have income, time, and freedom that allows me to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family. It's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time, to be honest, just way too far out of my reach. But the good vibes and good times, not always been the case. I was a difficult child to bring up, to parent, to school. I never made the grades. I was often told I was stupid and useless. And when you're told something often enough, while you're young and impressionable enough, you believe it. I later on became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney. Okay, I was kidding about the good looking part, not about the dumb part. Big dreams, I always had those. I wanted to be, do, and have more. Really what it was about though, was wanting to give more. I wanted to be doing something significant that meant something significant, but I had little self-esteem. I'd done little with my life. And so I felt like I had little to give. Physically, even to right now, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. But back then I had health troubles, autoimmune disorder, inflammatory issues, severe skin, respiratory, and gut conditions most of my life, and lots of bad injuries. And financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs, hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity, embarrassingly broke. I'll admit some to you. Phone, electricity, and gas cut off at times. Not able to run my car because I couldn't afford the petrol. I've been evicted, not paying the rent. I mean, embarrassingly broke, no financial dignity. I always believed in possibilities, but my biggest problem has always been doubting my potential. And so I was trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, not able to be who I wanted to be. Now, I'm not saying life was all doom and gloom. Some great things have happened to me, and I'll point out two. First, I met the girl of my dreams. Right then and there, I was motivated more than ever before, 14 years ago, to become more. She believed in me, always told me that I was more. And I guess when you're told something often enough, right? But also, 6 years ago, I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, opportunity, and training. The company leaders are extremely successful people, and they believed in me too. They taught me how to believe and become more. And for that, today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I've solved them. And I solve them for others too, because of this life-changing breakthrough. And instead of financial insecurity and indignity, being embarrassingly broke, I have security and dignity, and I can hold my head up high because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, and frustrated, I now have more, with the ability to believe and become more, and the ability mixed in now with the desire to give more because of this company's training, and it's showing me a life-changing better way. And now I want nothing more than to better people's lives in at least any one of these life-changing ways too. And so the first thing I'm going to share with you is that first life-changing thing I mentioned, which was the life-changing breakthrough. This is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. I agree with that, but it's not me saying it. It's medical experts who say this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. For 2 decades, science had declared that this breakthrough was impossible. However, this breakthrough today has enormous potential, proven by renowned universities, world-leading laboratory medical studies. It's not woo-woo. This is medical science, a very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down. More about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond anything you're reading on the screen right now. It goes well beyond drugs, well beyond nutrition, well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you may already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science. This is a truly groundbreaking and category-creating healthcare breakthrough. The Alissa Redox cell signaling technology, first and foremost, is a drink, and it contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox molecules are made by your cells, so they're made within your body, so they are native to your body. They are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, and therefore your cell-to-cell operation, and therefore all of your body's functions, all the way down to your genetic expression in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. And it does that by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, how to repair unhealthy cells, and how to replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels, bottom line. Now, why is this so important? Because we're all made of cells. We live and die, therefore, at this cellular level. Healthy cells makes up a healthy body and then a healthy life, right? So these redox signaling molecules are actually the keys to life because they are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, whether it be biochemical or physiological, all of these processes critically depend on redox signaling, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, your life ends. So if our bodies already make these redox molecules, why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, it is true that when we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day, not wake up sore the next day, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our body's ability to make enough of these redox molecules breaks down too. Without as many of these redox signaling molecules running around in the body giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process becomes slow. Our cells therefore break down more, and so does our health, our wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. And ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science, because redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide will already be way out of date, with around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. And so according to medical researchers, as also reported in the Huffington Post that wrote about ASEA, this company, its technology, they're saying that redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And there are right now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. These genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Moreover, ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. The head professor of that university study has come forward saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what he called disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now that's significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress, and from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and or healthier. And so if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you don't need to take my word for it. Here are some medical doctors. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of redox technology. They are Renew 28 Redox Gel and our Intensive Redox Serum. These redox technologies are supported and enhanced by the complementary all-natural ingredients products. They are our gentle refining cleanser and our ultra replenishing moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what these redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging and age reversing results. Now you will be able to see lines and wrinkles smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. And inflammations, or skin blemishes, I should say, spots, dots and marks, and then inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin, being rejuvenated, being renewed, improving the quality of life. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions come back to the proper surface of the skin. Now, this is Rosie. The dramatic difference you are seeing in the first two pictures on the left couldn't be seen by Rosie because Rosie didn't take those pictures. And Rosie actually believed that the products were not working. Can you believe that? Look at those photos. Rosie went to see her doctor. That's who told her about Alissa and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products did not work, the doctor took out these pictures, showed them to Rosie, and I guess the rest of the story can be seen here by us, right? Everybody says they want to see how Alissa goes, but Rosie missed those moment by moment changes by not taking photos moment by moment. And so you may miss them too. So please take photos. That's how you see how these products go. Now, people notice results early on, like Rosie, 7 weeks, some in 7 days, and some within 7 minutes they can have an experience. However, other people need to apply more product, more time, more patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox molecules are redox molecules. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in animals, as they are in plants, and as they are in bottles of Alissa products. Studies show that Alissa redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. This doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face and used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? Once you do see it, you can't unsee it. Now, it's not just for the face, as you can see here, arms and hands and bellies, and also buttocks and thighs and all over. These pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. The study was done because there were many stories coming in from all over the world of people saying their cellulite had disappeared while they were using Alissa, using Renew 28. And so the scientists set upon double-blind placebo-controlled clinical trials to see, was there any truth to these stories? And what they found was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw that the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, not only for visibly younger looking skin, but actually healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after shaving and or sun exposure and the like, but Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body, and you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, rate that discomfort. Give it a score on a scale of 1 to 10. A score of 10 means the maximum discomfort. It hurts the most. Apply Renew 28 on that spot 3 times within 5 minutes, and usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of that hurt or discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And Alissa does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. What I might do is just hand it back to you, Alissa, because I know that we have an amazing gentleman here today with an amazing, not just health returning story, but life returning story. And I think everyone would love to hear that.
We do have an amazing person here today. His name is Dan Doyle. Dan, thanks so much for being here with us. Dan has an amazing story that he's going to share with us today about how these redox signaling molecules have not only changed his life from a health point of view, but also from a whole lifestyle point of view. And I know that Dan now is one of the main influencers globally. I think he's now helped hundreds of thousands of people. We're nearly up to that, I think, Dan, or you were nearly up to that. And his passion is just huge. So he's out here to share it with as many people to change their life, both from a health point of view and a lifestyle point of view. So Dan, we just want to thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your nagging to all of us to listen to you, and so that we can share this with as many people as we can so we can change more people's lives.
Love to talk to you about that nagging part. Thanks, Alissa. Nagging, I mean, for you guys from the US or anywhere in the world, nagging, bothering, annoying, that's what that is. And that's something I did with Alissa, actually, when I first told her and continually tried to tell her about this incredible breakthrough. And Alissa, you're an incredible leader with ASEA now. You're very successful in traditional business. As you said, you're in pediatrics, and you've got so many therapists working for you, coming in from a lot of different angles to help children, and you've incorporated Redox into your clinics as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your story before I tell mine, if I don't mind? And I'm gonna go off the video here because it's I think it's very important to tell and share your story with where you were and coming from those nagging, annoying days when I was reaching out to you to where you are today.
Sure. So as Dan said, I'm a health practitioner here. I did a Bachelor of Health Science, majored in occupational therapy, and my passion is children. So we have a clinic, main one here in Adelaide, South Australia. We have multiple disciplines, so OT, psychology, speech pathology, nutritional therapists, yoga instructors, and the list goes on. But my passion's always been to help families and to be up to date with the latest research, because I was seeing in my clinic that I was seeing in my clinic that there were lots of different services we were providing and treatment modalities that we were using that weren't having the same effect as they were 10 years ago. And so I started doing some research, but while I was researching, my friend here, Dan Doyle, kept nagging me about Redox. And as a health practitioner, I think you get told numerous times about lots of different things that are out there and products, as you could say. And I've got to be really careful what I look at, and the value and the scientific evidence base behind a lot of things. And so I just brushed him aside 4 years, like literally for 4 years. I ignored Dan, and I'd seen Dan go through his own journey, and I'm like, that's great. I'm glad it's helped you, Dan. I'm glad your life is better, but I can't guarantee that's going to help everybody. And so I kept going on my merry way, and Dan kept talking to me, and I kept ignoring him. I think I ended up buying some just to shut him up, and I put it in the cupboard. I thought I'll support him, pop it in the cupboard, had no idea what I was buying. And then one night I was researching again, you know, particularly in around some of the health conditions that we have most in our clinic. And up kept coming in PubMed, these redox signaling molecules. And so then I put it into Google, and up come this blue bottle. I'm like, that's familiar. So at midnight, here I am pulling up a Mixmaster and all the things at the bottom of the pantry, and found this box of ASEA and realized that what Dan had been telling me about for 4 years was none other than redox signaling molecules. So it certainly does pay to keep talking to people that you know need to hear it. For me, I then started using it myself, started researching it a lot more. I had my own amazing health benefits from being stressed, exhausted, rashes all over my body, as that comes with running traditional business companies and all sorts of things. So I was really lucky that Dan didn't give up. So I guess one of the things I can encourage you is, if you know about this and you get a lot of no's, just keep going, because you know, now I'm able to share it with my family, which I know, you know, they've had some amazing benefits with my friends, and now none other than my family's in my own clinics. So I feel very privileged and very blessed that Dan was a nagger, as we say here in Australia, but really glad that I've learnt about it. It's certainly taken my knowledge as a health practitioner beyond what I was looking at before. I've done more research and study now on cellular health than I ever thought I would, but really understanding that we are made up of cells, and if our cells aren't healthy, we're not healthy. So, you know, that's the motto of our clinic, and we're here to make sure that we're looking at everyone holistically. So we're certainly seeing some great benefits, and we're excited to be able to share it. So thanks, Dan, for not giving up on me.
Oh, my pleasure. It was definitely worth the wait, that whole 4 years it took for you to make a decision to get involved. So great to have you working with us, and thank you for your support and leadership.
My absolute
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. All righty. Quickly tell my story, then we'll get... Sorry?
Yeah, everyone's probably on the edge of their seat. What's this story? What's this story?
Told it 1,000 times, and probably 10,000 times. Going to tell it many, many more times. And guys, this is what we do. We literally just share and tell our stories. There's nothing to sell here. We don't convince anybody to do anything. We're simply here to share information coming obviously in calls like this. Stevie doing an incredible job of the presentation. And we help people. We help people to take them to wherever they want to go with what we have. A lot of people on here on this call are here for their health. There's people on here for other reasons, but I'm going to share my story. And just before I do, just to reiterate that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, but I can tell you with long-term use of these products and sometimes even short-term use, these products are a cure for skepticism. For anybody who's new on this call, somebody has handed you a gift, and whatever you want to do with that gift is totally up to you. You can open it, you can close it, you can give it back. But hopefully this information that we're sharing here with you today can help you to make an informed decision whether or if you want to do something with that gift or not. So I'm here in Honolulu in Hawaii with my wife, Suzanne. Got away from the craziness of the world, doing okay here. Hopefully you guys are doing well with where you guys are. Grew up in Sydney, Australia, and I used to play a lot of sports, and this was one of them. And leading up to bodybuilding, I played rugby, did judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and very, very active kid. Used to distract myself from school, which I didn't like. And this was the start of me being a very young entrepreneur. I was actually 24 years old, and I started as a young businessman when I was 21 years old. And over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses employing about 3,500 people. And if you fast forward, still keeping fit and healthy, not a bodybuilder anymore. This is me at 44 years old. Still used to go to the gym every single morning. And what I wanted was to be the best physical version of a 50-year-old that I could be. Until today, 53 years old, I don't stop exercise, training, don't lift weights anymore, a lot of resistance work, and look after my health from a holistic point of view. So not too long after this photo was taken, unfortunately, in 2011, this is a photo of me on the right-hand side with no hair from the top of my head to my toes. And I spent 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, in Australia. What I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And there was a period of time with what I went through that I literally didn't want to be here anymore. It was horrendous. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, 21 years old in this photo. He'd been through all those hospital visits that I'd started here. Johnny played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. And unfortunately, after this photo was taken, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He started losing all his hair again, lost a lot of weight, and he didn't come out. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. Many years before I actually got into this horrendous situation, throughout me being a businessman, we were flipping properties, and I used the horrendous weed killer Roundup. And that's why I got into trouble with my health. And you probably know exactly what I had by saying that. Unfortunately, growing up, our parents used to take us to the doctors on a regular basis, and whenever we had a sniffle or whatever we had, and we were conditioned to go to the doctors all the time. And we thought that doctors were the guys who looked after our health. So it was a very hard switch to flick. And at the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. So that point was the point that I made the decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. And in doing so, I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet, totally cleaned up my diet. There's no Australian barbecues with beer and steak anymore, I can tell you. It was a very clean diet, and I spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water. And you would think that my body would have been heading in the right direction, but I can tell you that wasn't the case. This is a photo of me looking after myself for 2 years. Now, this is 2014. And what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was still happening on the inside. And I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. Blood work's still heading in the wrong direction. A friend of mine reached out to me at this point and said, I think I found something that can help you. Long story short, I flew to Salt Lake City, Utah from Sydney, and I started on these redox signaling molecules. In 3 hours, my body was expelling things so fast from my body, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. Next morning, 20-year caffeine intolerance was handled. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over with discomfort the whole day. That issue had gone the next day. I had 6 coffees, and there was no reminder of what I endured for a whole 20 years. But the light bulb came on the next day. I had so much lung damage from what they did, which was targeted in that hospital, where I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect. I went back to Australia, kept drinking this product. 1 year later, this is the day that the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports, which were turning into that crippling issue, had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose, and a whole list of other things. My body was rebuilt from top to bottom. And that was my journey back to health. If you fast forward another 2 years, this is 3 years on the product. And you can see I was looking much better, looking younger, feeling way better and feeling younger. Going back to 2014, a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. I was still very sick. In this photo, 1 year on the product. What you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what was happening on the inside at that time. And 3 years on the product, my complexion was a reflection of what was happening on the inside at that time. Fit as a fiddle these days. Been totally in the clear for over 5 years now. That was my journey back to health. There's another part of this story. And thank God there's another part of this story, because if there wasn't, I may not be here as well. You see, along the way, I started sharing this with others. It became a responsibility to help other people because of the results that I had. It ended up a purpose-filled mission, one that I'm still on, one which I will be on for the rest of my life. And when I was helping others along the way, the company started sending me thank you checks. Those thank you checks I invested back in my own health. I bought more products, saturated my body, got to the damage. So this business model behind this breakthrough literally saved my life in so many ways. And I believe, from my experience with building 20 traditional businesses over 20 years, with having corporate jobs, which I'll never go back to, I believe this is the most compelling opportunity that we will see in our lives in so many ways. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Stevie Aquilina just to have a little chat about the opportunity and the enormity of what this can do for you and your families, and how you can not only create generational health, but also generational wealth. Thanks, Stevie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. What's going on? Just one sec. Okay, I can see. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, mate.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you very much, Dan. Folks, it is a universal truth that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. That's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. This is the most compelling opportunity in the world right now, and I'm going to run through some reasons why. First, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for 2 very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than just one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. But not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, it can't be, because there's no way to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how to reverse engineer it, because the secrets aren't in the bottle. There are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so it can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. And that means no one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them, nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body like what ASEA can. And that's because redox works in every body. Every body needs redox, because nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox, and redox cannot hurt anybody. No other product can make that claim. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, or whatever it may be. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors because we are serving all health science sectors at a much deeper level than anything else can. So whether it be healthcare and wellness, whether it be sports science or athletic performance or beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, these are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a Redox supplement from. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. We're on a mission to better people's lives, to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by spreading the word, just by sharing this around with others. So for people who are looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, big time, or legacy leaving income, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, have a look at the monthly averages there, either in the Australian column or USA column, wherever you're coming from. There are levels of commissions there to meet whatever levels of ambitions. To be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality, ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive a residual income, not just from the first, but every single ongoing repeated purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can refer as many people as you like. That makes the residual income potential unlimited. And on top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer. And there's no limits to how far and wide these referrals can go. Just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, food, homewares, beauty and health products, whatever it might be, people tell people, we know this, who then tell even more people. We see it all the time, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening new markets almost every single year. Based on the existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million in the next 5 years. Residual income is impressive, very impressive, but more so, it's very important. You have residual bills, why not residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only 1 is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive. At 65, not working because they want to, but because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. And 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. Does that sound like a good financial plan to you? So what's going wrong? What is one of the main financial principles that the top 4% seem to have figured out that the other 81% didn't? Well, it's how to make money that is no longer dependent on their paid by the hour, selling their precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, JOB. You know what that stands for? For most of us, just over broke. It's called active income. And look, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. And therefore, you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. And this may even be more concerning if you're thinking, well, geez, my active income already isn't enough as it is. This is a big problem. One of the biggest problems that 81% of people get trapped in. Money is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. So if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a great place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. You're one of maybe only 20% in the world who are blessed. 70% of people are disengaged with their job. 80% means they don't like what they do. But still find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances, their freedom, and their security. For people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, for people who want a better life, income, lifestyle for them, for loved ones, for others. If people have dreams, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams, give you that real freedom. And there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. It's who we become and what we do that is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here. That's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. Have a really great time, meet great people, make great friends, have great experiences, have a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of ASEA. And it was demonstrated here because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down and they wanted everyone to be taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son Tyler Norton, had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so what had once started out as just a very big business play had now become more. You see, Virtus and Tyler, they couldn't in good conscience sell out. And so they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Like I said, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. You see, the founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to you and me and everyone around the world without a prescription. One of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make. And that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and corporate team, they come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced, running very big, profitable, famous household name companies. But their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, having an impact, making a difference, helping others to believe, belong, and become more, to be a force for good in the world. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. And if you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers very easily. There's plenty of university studies. But most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. So if you want to be happier and healthier, if you want to live younger, longer, you may just want to become an ASEA customer. That's fine. Welcome. Or if you have dreams and desires, if you want to be, do, have, and give more, if you want to help people be happier and healthier, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle for you, for loved ones, for others, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make a difference in the world, become part of this Redox reality, and you can become more. If you just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And thank you ever so much, Dan, for being one of those extremely successful people that I mentioned who took me under your wing and believed in me long before I could. And thank you, Alissa, for your good friendship and your medical expertise and the great leader you are around the world and looking after us here.
Well, thank you guys for having the faith in this, or finally having the faith.
Finally.
Yeah. I think we might have some time for Q&A today, Alissa.
I was just going to say, we've finished on time, which is a first. You must be having lots of practice there, Stevie and Dan. And Stevie, thanks again for that presentation. I love it. I love the new little slides you've added in too. It's fantastic. So I hope all of you feel inspired today, but we've got some time. So if you want to pop a question in the chat box, or raise your hand and we can unmute you, but we'd love to answer any questions you have at this point.
So while you're doing that, guys, we always get questions on particular conditions or issues. Please keep them to yourself. Otherwise, we'll answer the question with a question, and that question is, there a cell involved? Which there is in every single case. The reason why people get sick in the first place is their own lack of production of redox, or their production of redox that they have didn't detect the problem in the first place. The reason why they don't get their health back is a lack of redox. And just as far as getting the product, opening up a wholesale account, go back to the person who introduced you to this call. Definitely don't go to an eBay, Amazon, or any other platform. You could be buying product that's expired, tampered with, left in sunlight, left in heat, counterfeit, tampered with. I mean, all sorts. No reason to go to these platforms and buy from rogue sellers. Way more effective and cost effective to get it through the person who introduced you. They can set up a wholesale account and make sure you're getting the right product directly from the company, where you'll get loyalty points towards free product and all sorts of things as well.
A couple of questions here. Clifford, your question about what's the best video to send for that particular condition. Dan has on YouTube his story that's all compliant, so that might be a really good one to share with your friend. My pleasure, happy to share. Thanks, Francis. Can ASEA reverse heart blockages and dosages to take? So again, we will just say, is there a cell involved? And as we know, redox signaling molecules are here to help your cells regenerate healthy cells. So we don't want to be specific on conditions, but if there's a cell involved, ASEA will be able to support and help that issue. Stevie, a lot of people are asking where they can get a copy of the recording. Is that available for people?
Yes. So you can go to this address, and I'm just going to put it in the chat box. bit.ly at redox, bit.ly/redox zooms. It's in the chat box right now, but you do need to give me maybe an hour or two just to get this uploaded to, and it'll be at the very bottom of that list. It's a long playlist of all the past Zooms that we've done.
So there's another question. It's only made from salt and water. Why so expensive? Well, it goes through a 3.5-day electrochemical process. It takes a long time just to make one batch, and that is an expensive process. It's not the fact that it's made from two inexpensive ingredients. It's what they have to do from day 1 to day 3.5 and everything in between. So if you look back at the super juices in other companies, and I'm going to use one example, Zango's mangosteen. They've got to grow the fruit, they've got to harvest the mangosteen, they've got to do all that. And I can tell you that to make one bottle of ASEA costs around about the same as it costs to produce one bottle of super juice. And that's because of the process it needs to go through. You know, the 3.5-day electrochemical process smashes the atoms apart. They reconstruct the atoms over those 3.5 days. So yeah, it's a long, costly process to do that.
And not only that, it's the years of research that's gone into this beforehand. You know, like this is a breakthrough. Like it was determined that there is no possible way that we can stabilize a redox signaling molecule, and it's been done. So that just didn't happen because Dr. Samuel, what's his name? Dr. Samuel?
Dr. Gary Samuelson.
Gary Samuelson just woke up one morning and went, here it is. You know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money went into the research for that. So we're pretty
17 years, yeah.
If I may very respectfully say, because I totally get not having enough money, because when I started this, I totally had no money, let alone enough. No money. you know, how did I get started in ASEA? Well, first I saw what it did to my best mate, Dan. And then, you know, I caught the glimpse of what it could do to my loved ones. And my loved ones had situations that we were very fearful of for them, not just for their health, but for their life. And, you know, I caught a glimpse of what was possible. I caught a glimpse of the opportunity to be a part of something significant, to do something significant, to make a significant difference in people's lives. So I borrowed the money. I'm not telling you to do that. That's just how I got started without money. But look, when I break it down, I'm just going to work on the US figure here. $130 a month to put you on the bare minimum. That's $28 a week. It's about $4 a day. And even when I had no money, if I investigated it, I'm sure there was $4 a day somewhere I was throwing away on something that wasn't improving my life and wasn't improving my family's life, that I just redirected into this. And furthermore, I told people about this. I spread the word. I helped people to become informed so they can make an informed decision about bettering their life too. And then from helping those people and allowing those people to get better and improve their situation and enhance their health, well, I don't pay for ASEA. ASEA does, because I'm out there helping people change lives.
Awesome.
Good point. We're top of the hour, guys.
Guys, thanks again. I'm glad we got to answer a couple of questions. If you still had questions that we weren't able to answer, please go back to the person that brought you along to the webinar. We thank you, Steve. Thank you, Dan, again, for your leadership, your dedication, and the influence you're having in the world. And I know now is the time more than ever that people are needing to look after their health and also their financial situation. So thank you for your leadership. I'm excited to work with you. I hope that all of you that were listening today are inspired, that feel passionate to do something about your own health. Now's the time to take action. We don't have a lot of time to wait. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. So put yourself first. Make sure you make that a priority. Get back to the person that brought this to you. And we'll be here again next week. Same time, same channel.
Yeah, quick plug for our call tomorrow, guys. 16 hours time. Stevie's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for a 6 a.m. Australia time or East Coast call. So that call is on at 12 p.m. Pacific time here in the States tomorrow. Invite some guests onto that call. We're here to support you. We do this 5 days a week. Alissa joins us for one because she's so busy with her traditional business. But yeah, no, really appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you for coming on the call, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ciao, ciao. Aloha. Mahalo.